Paintball nerd.
Today's guest on Paintball Nerd's Media Mogul interview started playing paintball in 1995. In 2019, he started making paintball media. It started with photography, which would eventually become slideshows, and now he's got reels with 70 million views. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mr. Verbal.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Verb. Good to have you on.
I'm so happy to be here.
So tell me about how this started. How did you start from just taking photos to eventually making those paintball photos?
Okay, so I had a little bit of photography background. It actually all started with live streaming. I got a DSLR camera. I wanted to make better, I wanted better webcam quality, and I started using the camera. So I learned to take photos, and then in 2018, I started playing paintball again. And then in 2019, I brought the camera to the field and started taking photos. And it kind of evolved into little video clips from it. I started, taking all the photos and making videos because
What were
video
you
is the
photographing
hotness.
first? Like before paintball, what did you
Um,
photograph?
Sports things. So I had a brother-in-law,
Okay.
and he was in third grade at the time playing basketball, which was a perfect subject to start on. I love sports, like all sports, just, whatever sport it is, usually pretty interested or will find a way to be. So, yeah, it started with, Pee Wee basketball pretty much. And that's kind of where I started to learn. And that's super hard because those gyms, the light is always terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I started to learn on and, just kept going from there.
Gotcha. Okay. And then sorry to interrupt. So then you got back into paintball, brought
Yep.
the camera to the paintball field.
Right. Right. Yeah. So then I started bringing the camera out. It was like a perfect storm to get involved, and we have I go to Paintball Fit almost weekly. We have a great spot out here. There's always people playing. So yeah, that really helped my development and growth is being able to get out there, multiple times a week and learn and grow.
You know, it's incredible because when you started taking photos, it just happened to be a basketball, which is there's a lot of movement in that game, and taking good photos of basketball, no doubt prepared you for taking good photos in paintball.
Right, right. It helps. One thing that helps the most is knowing the game, no matter what game it is, knowing the rules and stuff like that really helps. And then learning the movement, like basketball, they're usually coming towards the basket. Paintball is a little bit different. You kind of have to adjust where you're at and kind of see the future of where you think things will be going.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it definitely helped a lot to learn. All right, this is what I want. This is the shot I want. So this is where I'm going to have to go.
So Verbal, there's a huge disparity, right, between taking this photo that's aesthetically pleasing and having a reel that 70 million people on the planet watch. So don't leave it out. Don't leave out any detail. How did that evolution happen?
Oh man. Yeah. So with photos, like you'd come away from an event with like one and you're like, oh man, that one is incredible. Right. Like most of them,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
very similar, right? They're, it's a guy
sure,
shooting or like a nice dive or whatever. So you'd be
sure.
able to come away with like a couple you were happy with. Video is very different because you capture like the whole thing. Like it's, you get a lot more. Um, but when you look at something that's what's crazy about paintball, and somewhat frustrating on the media side is I could have you go down the field and I could have perfect angles and you could get a 5 pack and sure it would do great. But if I have you missing a reload, it could just go crazy. And what I've learned is that the general public does not enjoy when paintballs are wasted. So it creates a ton of engagement, and that's how you get to the 70 million, unfortunately. So the
Hmm.
70 million video was Jacob Edwards just wrong hand reloading, the old Kentucky left hand. He is standing at the bunker, shooting at the left side, holding the gun in the right hand, and just missing a reload. And there was nothing crazy about it. I don't know. It just looked like a standard, kind of paintball video, and it for some reason the algorithm caught it and it went crazy.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's funny that people don't like to see people waste paintballs, but at the same time, we have the victory dance with the hopper dump.
Right. Right. And I haven't really gotten any great like hopper dumps yet. So I don't know. I need to work on that. Somehow I always miss
I
them,
wouldn't
but
focus on it. I
I mean, who knows? I
Stick with
mean,
what you're doing.
well, I guess I did have one of a couple years ago at Cup. They had the kids division, and I made one of photos of Dominic Nates, and he did it. He like reloaded it and then did it in front of the crowd, and I did that one, and that one did pretty good. That did like 19 million or something on Instagram. So I guess I do have
That's
one in
amazing.
there. Yeah.
That's amazing. One of the things that your content makes me feel is that I want to go play paintball right now. Like
Yes.
you see someone diving and you're like, oh, I know what that feels like, and I want to do that. And you see someone reloading in a hurry, and they're trying to get their paintballs in their loader as quickly as possible, and I know that feeling. And you see someone pop up their head and see something, see a move, and then they act on that move. And your content evokes that emotion, at least for me as a paintball player. And I think that's why it gets so much attention. It's because you're creating these emotions in paintball players. Like, I
Right.
want to go do that. I love it. This is why I love the sport. So I'm so thankful for what you do, man. It's amazing content.
It's awesome. I mean, who would have thought you could, make a job just, videoing paintball and make a living doing that. So
Hey, you're living the dream.
absolutely.
I don't think many people get to make a living in paintball, and for those of us
Right.
that
Right.
do, I mean, paintball is our passion, and I think opportunities in paintball are few and far between.
Right.
But it didn't happen overnight, right?
Right.
Like you have a journey that led you to where you're at, and I think that's why it's important that if you're passionate about paintball, keep going. Whatever your niche is, keep going. Keep
Right.
putting one step in
Absolutely.
front of the other, and then if it's media, you could be the next Verbal.
Yeah.
If it's playing, you could be the next Oliver Lang. But you can't give up, right?
Right. Exactly. That's it. You just keep going. You got to keep doing it.
So what new and exciting things are you working on?
Okay. So recently things have been very, shorts based, reel based. That's kind of, what ever since TikTok came out, that's what all the socials are pushing is this short form highlight content. But so, at World Cup last year, I started off with, I did like a little, Oliver was coming back, so I kind of just filmed them and just threw all the
Yeah,
clips together.
that was
So for
awesome.
more longer form content, so I really want to get the YouTube going personally this year and have some more long form content, behind the scenes. Because so for me, when I watch, I want to see the behind the scenes. Like if I'm seeing a vlog or something like that, I want to see, what they're doing off the field, what the friendships are like there.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of paintball action, and traditionally that's what I've stuck to. But I figure we can get a look behind the curtain and see what's going on. So I want to kind of work on that and make some longer form YouTube stuff and behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, I love that stuff because it's different if I just show up to the field with my cell phone,
Right.
my iPhone, and here's everyone getting their pads on. But it's I guess it's called composition, right? Composition is important. Like the
Right.
angle at which you're capturing these
Right.
moments is important. The quality of your video is important. The how you capture the audio is all in it's all
Right.
it all has something to do with the viewer's experience. And I think that's one of the reasons, Verbal, that you're so successful is because the end product, the content that you're creating is both visually and you know auditory.
Right.
It's high quality.
That's one thing I go for is I just want things to be as high quality as possible, and like I'm constantly reinvesting into that. I just buy more gear and do more research, and yeah, I spend a ton of time researching like what can I buy to up the quality and just put into that. So yeah.
So is it one camera that does both photos and video, or do you have multiple
So
pieces
for a
of gear
while I
here?
was using it and it was both, but now I have mainly a video camera and then I'll have like a holster, like a pouch or something and put the photo camera in, which I don't break out as often as I should. It's just, sometimes kind of hard, but now I have this crazy setup where I have an easy rig, which is like a crane that holds the camera, the video camera, and takes all the weight off. So now I can just, whip out the photo camera out of the fanny pack and get some of that as well.
Nice. What are you using right now for this video? Because it's really clear.
So this is on a Sony A7R4, which is mainly a photo camera, and then it has the Sony GM 24-70 version 2, which is a great lens for just general everything stuff. So,
And what kind of mic is that?
and this is a Sennheiser M44 something, I think. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's great because it blocks out a lot of the outside ambient noise and such.
Yeah, I know a lot of podcasters go with the Shure, uh, you know, standard Joe Rogan
Yeah, sure.
looking mic.
SM7B. I was looking if it was
Yeah.
somewhere in the office around, but I do have one of
Oh,
those
so
as
you
well.
prefer the Sennheiser?
I do, just because it's more. It blocks out like background sounds, like quite a bit more. It's if you're not talking right up on this thing, like if I'm back here, like it.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you really need it right up on your mouth.
So that's a good tip. So Sennheiser, I'm gonna look up that one. Right now I have a very high tech setup here, Verbal. So I use a Shure MV88 vlogging microphone, which is a little tiny
Okay.
microphone about this big that sits above my iPhone, which is what I'm using to film this.
Perfect.
But it's cool to have access to guys like you because I can ask you, hey, instead of trying to learn through the school of hard knocks, I can just say, hey, Verbal, what
Right.
camera should I get to make my content look better? And boom,
Right.
there you are.
Yeah. This is what I do. I go through and I I test all these things and I can report back with for the situation what I think might be best. So
So you're working on long form, something a little more long form. Can you give us any details if you're working on a specific documentary or what it might be?
not really. Not really. No real ideas. I did pick up a microphone recently to put on players to get mic'd ups.
I
So
love
I
that.
can, have some mic'd up content. Just kind of keep it fresh. I've been working with Dylan Fout. Um, Recently. He's a just insane editor. So, like I will send him stuff and look at it and be like, all right, this is okay. And then he'll be like, what? This is amazing. What are you talking about? And then like he'll create these videos and I'll be like, how did you even see like that video clip? Like, why was that video clip the one that you saw? And we're like, all right, let's put that in there. And it just works out. So we'll just see what we make, some mic'd up stuff. I want to keep it consistent, weekly, keep it coming out, just behind the scenes at like Paintball Fit, because usually I go there like four times a week because we have nightball on Wednesday nights and Friday nights, which is the coolest thing ever, by the way.
Yeah.
It just has this different vibe. We only play hopper ball at it. You get all
What?
kinds of people. Yeah, we play hopper ball, so you get as many spins as possible. Like last Friday, there's all kinds of new people that I had never seen out there, which it like rarely happens, right? Like, for the most part, I know most of the people, but like last Friday, it was just like all these new people. And then we'll do, add Saturday, Sunday. And so right now I'm just sending them all the content from the week and said, all right, let's see what we can come up with. So
Man, so how do you decide like, okay, I'm gonna step on the field with my equipment or I'm gonna step on the field with a paintball gun? Like how do you make that call on a given day?
oh man, it's tough. It's tough because I usually do want to play, but I gotta keep feeding the machine, feeding the algorithms is kind of what I look at it like.
Yeah.
So usually I'll be filming, but so there's a couple things I love to play. I love to play scenario games. Like I love just running around in the woods with a couple hundred people. So I play a couple of those a year. And then we have mechanical X ball tournaments
I
at
gotta
Paintball
try that.
Fit, which are amazing. It's
JD's been
street
telling
ball
me about that.
style. they do the draft, and you get a super cool hydro like basketball jersey based on a team.
Street ball jersey, yeah.
Yep. And man, I love those. I love mechanical paintball. So I try to play as many of those as possible. I did film the first one, and we do have a video on that one coming up soon.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'll play some night balls before those too, because they don't, they'll put up the layout like on Friday and the event's on Saturday. So, get out there a little bit for some of those, but most of the time it's video.
Yeah. Well, it's certainly your skill set. That's something that you're incredibly good at, and I believe that the type of content that you put out, it raises the bar, right? It forces people to do a better job. If you want to be a content creator now, like I said, I can't just roll out there with my cell phone and expect to have the same type of acceptance, same views. You're putting out like movie quality stuff, and that's how dominant hierarchies work, right? Like someone's going to excel, someone's going to be the best at something. As soon as you have any level of competition, someone's going to be the best, and that's a positive thing because it pushes everyone to get better. So I mean, if you're doing anything for paintball media, it's raising the bar and incentivizing and pushing everyone to get better.
Well, on that note though, we all do have cell phones, and they all do video. So
don't not do it.
This is to everyone out there. Like, yes, we want that, get out there and film, just make as much content as possible to everybody.
Yeah. And work your way up to being Verbal, right?
And maybe you'll like it and say, hey, let me get a dedicated camera and see what we can make now. So
yeah, exactly. So Verbal, what would you like to see in paintball media that we maybe don't see or don't see enough of?
See, I was thinking about that. That's tough. I don't know. We do have a secret project too that's pretty big budget. That'll be pretty cool to give a look into some things. I don't know. I just want the viewer.
Is it a documentary or a movie?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. We'll just leave it there. I don't know how much is out there, but we got something pretty sweet coming. Hopefully, I don't know, who knows when, but we're working on it. And then, but I think in paintball media, we just need it to be accessible. So like with the stuff we do, it's pretty easy. You just go on and you can see all the shorts and stuff, but we need to find a way to have all of our game broadcasts easily available, easily watchable, discoverable, because it's super hard when it's behind a paywall. And I get that we have to pay the people doing those things, but there has to be a way. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out ways that we can do it, with advertisers and such. But it just needs to be accessible.
Well, I mean, the data should show that when you offer something for free, people will watch it more than if they have to pay.
Right.
So, I'm with you on that, but at the same time, I don't have the wherewithal to understand how Go Sports works and why they
there's a lot. There's a lot. They do. Yeah, they do a lot. Just the cameras and stuff they use. It's incredible. Like they're doing a great job. But the way things are going, like I just feel like there has to be a way that we can. I don't know, because streaming is huge on whether it be Twitch or YouTube or as I'm just trying to, like I said, I'm trying to build my YouTube channel up, and I'm considering streaming on there. So recently I set up on Wednesday night. I set up a little cell phone mount on my camera to live stream while I was filming.
Mm-hmm.
But that flopped my screen down. So then I was looking down, and that hurt my neck real bad. And I was like, all right, let me figure out a different way. So then on Friday, I had an arm coming off. I had a magic arm attached to the cell phone. But then I realized most of the time I'm not looking, like I'll be looking this way. So I had the cell phone facing straight, but I'm usually looking to the side because I'm trying, not to get hit or, lessen the impact zone. So I'll have the camera pointed to the side. So I was like, all right, I need to find a way to attach my phone to my camera so you can see it live. And then I don't think a lot of people knew that I was actually filming right? So I would take the phone off the mount and show that I was filming the night ball. So because sometimes the shots, sometimes the live shots were not great, but that's because of the how I was positioning the camera.
Huh.
So
What do you
that's
mean? Like people didn't know they were being filmed, so they didn't do as cool things?
oh no, they were definitely on top of it on
Okay,
that. But
good.
like for people watching the live stream, they're like, oh well, this guy just made a move there. Why isn't he like following him? But it is just
Gotcha.
the camera movements and such, and that, so that's one thing I'm trying to figure out next, because I don't know. I mean, it's something I could do and have a big background in live streaming. So just something behind the scenes looks, and we'll see if people are interested in that.
I think they will be, and I think, well, I pay for Go Sports,
Oh yeah, me
but
too.
if
Absolutely.
I want to, call up my grandma in Iowa and say, hey, grandma, do you want to see what paintball is? Having her walk through a $10 subscription it's just not going to happen,
Right. Right.
But if I can say, hey, click this link, grandma, that I just text you,
Right.
she's watching paintball. Now
Right.
she's exposed to paintball.
Yep.
And I think what you said about being barriers to access is huge.
Right.
Break down the barriers, make it more accessible, and you'll get more eyes on it. Just like an Instagram. If you want people to see your photos, don't make a private account.
Right.
Make sure people can access it, and they'll decide if there's value. Right? They'll follow if there's value.
All right, and that's another thing in relation to all this, though, is we need bright colored paintballs, just for general viewership. So I know that from broadcast they have like, this is kind of nerdy, but they have they have a smaller or a larger depth of field, so it's really hard to see the paint flying on the broadcast. So I'm not sure if neon would even help there. But I know, like in the stuff we do, you can totally see the balls flying like way better. I mean, because ideally we'd be able to have it so you could see easily the lanes that they were shooting on a webcast. But we are just not quite there yet. But getting bright paintballs will definitely help.
Verbal, talk to Ryan Greenspan about this as well. We've talked about bright paintballs in length, and you've just brought another dimension to it, because you're talking about, from a broadcasting perspective, it makes more sense. But talk to Ryan, because we talked about how having bright paintballs will actually keep more players in the game. And here's why. Right. When you're brand new and you're playing paintball and you got brown paintballs in your hopper and bink, 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 and you're shooting, and you're not really seeing where the paintball is hitting. But if you see this bright ball come out of your barrel and you see its flight path and you see that thing explode on someone's goggles, now you've created this entirely visceral effect in paintball, and you've created someone who's hooked to the game just like that.
Right.
And the reason that we don't have that is because a lot of times fields are looking for cheap paintballs because customers are looking for cheap paintballs. And it starts at that level of it starts at the ground level. When people first play paintball, the staff at the field needs to educate them on, like, here's how you shoot, here's how you lane. You see your stream there, you see your brightly colored stream. Now you can get these brown paintballs here for cheaper, but go ahead and shoot at your target and see if you can get your stream right. So yeah, I think having a brightly colored paintball has huge implications to the growth of the sport, not just from a media perspective, but actually getting people excited about continuing to play the game.
Right. That's huge. That's it. Because if you see, man, that's all it takes sometimes, is you just see one ball just go down and bam, right in the goggles. You're just like, I want to do that again.
I remember the first time that happened to me, and it was like, that's what got me hooked on paintball. In fact, I it was like, I had a spider with a spider is an old gun, people who don't know what a spider is, but a spider is an old, blowback gun. And the CO2 tank came right down here. It went right into it. So it was like shooting snow, snow coming out of the barrel. And, I was shooting at a guy, and his head was up, and I saw the paintball explode on his goggles. And then I was like, it was hooked on paintball. Like, that was it. Like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah. It helps.
So,
yeah.
Cool. Well, Verbal, what are you most thankful for that paintball's giving you in life?
It's a pretty, I think it's the thing that drives a lot of us to come back. It's community and the people, right? It's it's the friendships and the, you get to go, see your buddies, whether it be at the field or, some buddies you don't get to see as often at events and such. So I think, it's something that's unmatched and a big reason why a lot of us, continue on and keep doing it.
Yeah. Well, we definitely appreciate your time here. Is there anything that you'd like to part with for the paintball community?
No, just go check out the YouTube. Well, we're gonna keep it rolling and yeah, hopefully get some new cool stuff going.
Cool. Verbhal, right?
That's it. Yep.
Awesome. Thanks, Verbal.
Thank you.